guys. I just wanted to chat with you a little bit on something. I will say that sometimes you guys send me messages or some kind of interaction occurs between us. And I mean, it might just be like me just living my life out and about, or it might be actually with one of my clients, or it might be like somebody that comes to the lighthouse. It could be just anybody. But every once in a while, I know that there's a lesson that I need to share on my channel about this. And it's not to attack the person who did something. It's so that you guys can benefit from these different things that surface and learn something from it. Okay? So it's just for a lesson's sake, you know, and everyone does this. Every artist uses their lives as a way to help and teach others in whatever they do for a living. You know, singers do it in their lyrics. You know, all artists do this. So I really appreciate this divine feminine who sent me these interactions. I think it's awesome, and I'm going to bring some clarity to the situation, not only for her, but for all of you. Because I think this is fairly common, but it makes a really, really good point, I think. So bear with me. I'm about to read you a set of interactions between a gal and perhaps a dating app. I wasn't quite clear as to what was going on here. I don't know, it might come clear to us in a second, but basically, I got this message. Here we go. She says, random dude started chatting to me after I liked a comment he posted under a meme. I guess it seems this guy or some men or most men think it's asking too much to want to find someone with whom you have. Are we still there? My screen just went bloop. All right, let me just find you again and then we'll go. Okay, we're back. So where were we? I guess it seems this guy or some men or most men think it's asking too much to want to find someone with whom you have a great divine connection. So as if we should settle with just anyone. So I was like, this should be interesting. She said, screenshots above. So I go above. And this guy says, I can't believe you're single, by the way. I think you're an incredible beauty. Wow. So he pays her a compliment. And she lets him know what she's up to. And that she's divorced and that it's not quite the best to find someone that ticks all the important boxes. It's not quite best to find someone who ticks all the boxes. Okay. So he said, what are your important boxes? Okay. And she says, too many to name. They either are or they aren't. Amongst them, intense chemistry, passion, attraction, magnetism, generosity, kindness, respect, understanding, faithfulness, loyalty, energetic ebb and flow, almost telepathic connection, motivational, proactive, desire to build a family spiritually, etc. Whoa. And he said, sheesh, lol. I can see why you're single now. And she said, yeah, I'm not looking for a short-term hookup or a sugar daddy or a hardworking man who can just have, let's go down here, who can just have, it's kind of different. Let's see here. Who can just have mediocre sex with and is willing to pop a ring on my finger. That would be both of us settling for less than what we yearn for. This is the reason why so many people get together and separate in the short term or marry and divorce. They are often settling unfulfilled and they may not even realize it. then they cheat because they're feeling self-entitled to be selfish, and they settled for many of or all the wrong reasons. If we aren't blowing each other's minds, bodies, and souls, then I don't want it. Keep moving. And then she said, why would or should anyone want anything less than that? It's either a divine connection full of positive connections in the mind, body, and soul, also full of growth along with a divine mission. And it's a karmic connection or toxic. And he said, lol, wow. So, was she right? Totally, yeah. Within the twin flame community, within those who speak your language, you know. But what I said back was, it kind of seems like you were pushing him away without giving him a chance. If you've never met, how do you know he wouldn't be these things? If I were him, your expectations would have scared me off. I'd feel defeated before I ever had a chance. Then she says, I'm not attracted anyway. He can go. Lol. But anyone else or the right one would have validated such a type of connection. Well, for one, though, how can they validate it if they've never experienced it? You know, maybe they don't even know a connection like that exists. Maybe they think it's just fantasy. I would, if I were a guy just randomly complimenting a beautiful woman, you know, that would have scared the shit out of me. I would have been like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what kind of fantasy world are you in? And why would you have all these expectations? Who the hell do you think you are? You know, I would have just been so insulted. Although, okay, so I'm just going to continue on. And I'm wondering if you guys can hear this, because this was my response.
I'm not sure I would ever just put it out there like that, because the guys won't even try something that they feel that they'll fail at. And that, putting all that out there like that, would definitely feel like there's no way I'm going to be able to overcome that obstacle or meet those expectations. So if I were you, I would just know all of that. And if you like them and you guys get a nice conversation going and you want to meet with them, then just, you know, I don't know, it feels really guarded. I mean, to just say all of that is like really guarded. So just know it. If I were you, I would just know it. That's all. I mean, the truth needs no defending. Just go meet with them and give them a chance and see if you have that kind of connection. I mean, it's almost like you're expecting them to show up and be all those things for you, but you can't pretend that kind of connection. You have to just see how it develops. And it kind of...
I don't know what else I said there, but yeah, it's almost as if, hey, it's all puffed up, you know, hey, you better show up with all this stuff, or no, then you're a toxic connection. I'm not having anything to do with you. It's very defensive. It's very defensive, especially when you can't hear the person's tone and they're not in your face. You know, it's like you could be inspiring. And think about this too, like the things that you're the ways that you're interacting with these people. You don't know this guy, right? I mean, I'm talking to her too, but it's like, you don't know this guy. So you're giving him an impression of women. You represent women when you guys are out here talking to guys and stuff, okay? Just keep that in mind. So he's like, hey, you're pretty, and you're like, here's all the shit that you need to do to be with me. You know, and it's just like, it would feel like a slap in the face. Like, wow, I just told you were pretty. You know, like, why did you throw all that at me? It feels so defensive. She said, and then, let's see, only my DM meets those requirements. I'm not interested. Fine, then just say that. And that's what I said. I said, just say that. Say, wow, thanks for saying I'm pretty. And just leave it at that. That's all you had to say. Thank you for saying I'm pretty. If he wanted to say more to you, then You know, it could have gone like, are you single? Yes, I am. You know, it could have just been a friendly little conversation. And you could have ended it with, you know what, I'm really not interested, but I really appreciate your compliments or whatever. Or you could have just stopped talking to him or whatever. None of the other stuff is necessary until you guys get serious or something like that. Or like, and even then it's like, even your masculine, even your masculine who is all this stuff, they're not going to live up to those expectations all the time. And they're going to think you're impossible and very hard to please. I mean, it's like the finger wagging, you better be all of this list or I'm out. And you know, there's no reason to be defensive, no reason to be defensive. And then I said, then you just need to say that. And she said, I do, but this is the first question that dabs into gauging my interest. She said, I replied to him that I'm not interested. And then, so he said, lol, wow. And she says, but in this case, if that was you gauging interest, I'm not interested. Okay. She said, I also found that connection with someone who I consider as my divine masculine and is also my twin flame. It's a difficult and complex subject to explain further. That right there, dude, you know what that guy's going to do? He's going to go around and laugh his ass off with a bunch of guys drinking beers and just being like, you know what this crazy lady said? She said she had some kind of twin flame with all these things. Like, this guy is some perfect Hercules guy who's got all these incredible qualities. Like, what a bee. You know, he's and the guy might have a twin flame out there. He might be a divine masculine, but putting it in his face like that, oh, and guess what? I have a divine masculine who's perfect, and you're not him. And he is a twin flame, and you're not. You know, it's like, wow. I mean, talk about putting something in somebody's face and throwing that kind of a term out there like that. It's irresponsible. You guys, don't be throwing that word, that phrase out there like that. If people don't know what it is, you're not only going to confuse the shit out of them, but the next time, if this guy actually goes out to meet his divine feminine, the second she says something about twin flame or true love, the guy's going to be like, remembering this experience. She could have just ruined his love life because now he's got like this term stuck in his head. He hates it because she's really totally put him down. She's just annihilated him and compared him to some kind of perfect thing that does not exist. And believe you me, your divine masculine, he's not perfect. He's definitely not perfect. You guys might have this really cool connection sometimes, but he's going to let you down. He's going to be an asshole sometimes. He's going to be totally insensitive sometimes and say really harsh things to you and tell you terrible things. What, are you going to rip him apart? You know what I mean? If you're this guarded, I'm going to get into this in a minute, but so I already found a connection. He's a twin flame. Okay. So this guy is now like, and I said, okay, now you just scared the crap out of the poor guy, and he's going to freak out if he ever meets his divine feminine. He'll be completely turned off to the whole twin flame thing. And she said, well, I basically just shared because of how someone just gets shocked about someone looking for a great connection. And I said, I get that. So he said, you're a total whack job. Good luck in life. And he said, you're not interested in me? And she said, and this is why I'm not interested. My intuition is always right. You just insulted me without reason. I basically was upfront, and you chose to insult me. Your ego / self-esteem issues are showing through. You have plenty to work on. This is probably why you're still single now, all caps. Okay. And then she says, you have no respect of others, their beliefs, their level of integrity and vulnerability, yet you spoke of getting away from blah, 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 all this stuff. Oh, getting away from fake people and all that stuff. You can't handle someone getting real. Good luck to you too. Wow. Okay. So then she says, yeah, his vibe wasn't meshing with me. Hence the no interest part. I can see why now. She says, you know, and then she quoted, you're a total whack job. Good luck with life. She said, this is so disrespectful without reason. And then she said, dude, your intention to try to insult me by calling me a whack job. If you call someone that at a bar, you'd have a fist in your jaw for pure disrespect. Look who's the spade now. I guess you get insulted when someone's just interested in you. I'm not insulted. I do not have to feel insulted to know what bad manners look like and point them out. And she said she's blocking him. Anyway, she says, it was all about the connection and not settling. Imagine you give a guy like this a chance and then you get disrespected like this. Go with your gut feelings. Don't give people chances. If they don't spark a good yes from the get-go, it's not a wise choice. This keeps being proved every time. All right, guys. This guy did not have a chance with you. This guy did not have a chance at all. You didn't even get to know him. You didn't ask him any questions. You just threw out there a bunch of expectations with your hands on your hips and your finger wagging. Of course you're going to get this disrespect. What you were disrespectful. This is what I'm talking about taking responsibility, you guys. We need to be able to see what it is that we are doing. Everything that she said about him, that whole thing about he's being disrespectful, how rude, all that stuff, it could be, she could totally look in the mirror and say that about herself, what she was doing to him. She was the one being disrespectful and rude. You know, he may have been listening to his intuition and gone to, you know, respond to her and try to connect with her by telling her she's beautiful, and he got attacked. So the truth needs no defending, you guys. You are so, this woman was so defensive. She is not only going to push every guy who tries away that was the longest lecture to a complete stranger over what? Over her just saying, you better be perfect or I'm not going to have any interest in you. It's like, dude, I've had guys send me dick pics and I've said, no, thank you. And then I block him. I don't use a bunch of words. I don't go paragraphs. I don't say, I am way too good for that. I can't believe that you would be so rude to me. I can't believe you would show me a dick pic. Like, what do you expect women to be? There's nothing to get defensive about, you guys. Just stand in your truth and know that that's not what you want. Some kind of idiot that would show you dick pics, okay? Just live it and be it. You never have to argue with people or point out that they're rude. If you're being defensive like that, it means you have to look at yourself and your own rudeness and your own defensiveness, period. Use these types of experiences to grow and to look at yourself and what you have to work on and what you have to learn. Stop pointing fingers at anybody else. This is exactly what codependent energy looks like. It's like telling somebody else they need to correct their behavior and come to you correct, or you're not gonna, who do you think you are? I mean, we are all flawed people. We all do stupid stuff. We all say stupid stuff. We say the wrong things. We're idiots, all of us. No matter how perfect we may seem, we're idiots. Always. We're human beings is what we are, and we make mistakes. There needs to be grace in relationships, a lot of grace, a lot of grace. None of us are perfect. Acting like a victim only disempowers yourself. It only knocks you down off of your being this matured queen. You know, he didn't need to get the mouthful. There was nothing wrong with him. He didn't do anything wrong. Everything that she said that he was saying about her was about her saying it to herself. I mean, just go back through that whole scenario. She was the one doing everything she said he was doing. You know what I mean? And that's what we're doing when we're staying on the defensive and acting like victims like that in life. That's what we're doing. Everything that we go and interact with and say to people, we're on guard and we're being defensive and saying they're the ones with the problem. They're the ones with the problem. They're the ones with the problem, not me. Oh God, I'm perfect. I need to be treated this perfect way. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying this again to the woman who might be listening to this later. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I mean, I love the things that we've interacted with, and I love what you even, have shared, in the comments and all kinds of things. I really appreciate you. I'm just saying what you just did was not taking personal responsibility. And if you can't take personal responsibility, you cannot be in a good, healthy relationship, period. Your masculine's not perfect, and neither are you. And you don't need to be shoving it in people's faces. I mean, this is like why I tell people, like, don't dwell on these past lives and say, I have this connection to Isis. That makes me special. Or I talk to angels. That makes me special. Or that makes me, like, those things may be true, and you may talk about it on your channel, or you may talk about it every once in a while with some mature people who understand, or some spiritual people who get it, but don't make it about your ego. This girl was making it about her ego. She was trying to, fluff herself up. He never said anything. I never heard him ever even argue and say something like, yeah, no, I don't want a divine connection. I mean, he didn't say that. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything against it. He wasn't like, oh, that's dumb. I don't want a connection like that. Here's the thing too. She didn't realize that this poor guy, like, he could have actually, like, been open. He could have been curious, like, what? Like, you could really have that with somebody? And she could have, like, maybe been there for him. If she was gentle enough and she wasn't acting like a victim and she didn't have her guard up like that, she could have maybe had a really neat conversation with him. Like, this is kind of what I'm looking for. It may seem kind of unrealistic, but I think I found that with someone. Didn't have to put the term out there or anything, but just been like, I think I found that. And I'm kind of shocked myself, like, that you could even find a connection like this. And he could have joined that conversation and said, yeah, me too. That's pretty amazing. Like, really? You found that with somebody? All that stuff? Yeah. Like, it's blowing my mind. I can't believe it. Instead, she was just so much on the defensive. She couldn't see the truth. She couldn't see what she was doing to him. So let this just be a really good example. If there is anybody that you're acting like a victim about and you think they're doing it to you, just look at how you might be doing the exact same thing to them, just maybe in a little different way. Or go back through your text threads and look at what you have said to that other person and see how those things actually apply to you as well. This is what Byron Katie's works teaches you to do. This is what gives you self-awareness, is doing this type of reflection. This is what helps you mature into somebody who really is a good partner, because you're not going to be all reactional like that. You're going to be thinking in terms of, like, how can we, whatever interaction's going on, like, what healing can happen for this person? Whatever interaction this is, like, how is this meant to be? Not how is this going to prove my point that men are dirt? You know what I mean? So I know this is hitting home for some of you who got your guard up, but I'm just saying it's really all about you. Everything that we encounter, everything we see, and the way that we interpret it is all about you. It's not having to do with the other person. And so try to get the lesson out of it. Try to grow. Don't try to just, solidify your point and be right, and to be more right, and to be more right, and to be more right, and say, see. It's all toxic. It's all horrible. Men are terrible. Women are terrible. This is the way they are. This is the way it is. This is, like, don't do that. You're going to just end up being a very lonely, sad, angry person. People won't get to know you. They won't feel like they can have intimacy with you. They won't trust you. You're not going to have that. You may have experienced that with your connection with your masculine. Obviously, it blew your mind. It was incredible. I mean, that's what happens on this journey. It's amazing, right? There's just no need to throw it in anybody's faces. And there's certainly no need to go around and attack other people for not being that either. And don't go around talking about twin flames, you guys. People will think you're crazy. Maybe it's like I said, she could have said something really gentle and sweet to the guy. So, you know, anyway. Anyway, I'm sure you guys get the point. And if not, then we should probably do a remote reading so I can explain further. If you actually side with her, you know, if you actually think that she was right, yeah, you've got some learning to do. But that's okay. That's okay because everybody's at a different point in their lives, and everybody's you know, everybody's growing and learning at their rate, and so is she, and she's fine. You know, she's good where she's at. She feels good about where she's at. She's staying strong in it. She's saying, you know, I'm right. The guy's being a jerk. I don't see it. I see her as kind of being a jerk. But that's just from, you know, I feel bad for the guy. I do. Anyway, I mean, you know, I just wish I could talk to the guy and apologize to him and just be like, I'm sorry she did that. She really gave us a bad name. Twin flames are not usually like that. Like twin flames are usually cool, calm, collected, mature. They won't put you down. They're not going to be, you know, attacking you or making you feel bad or, you know, making you feel like you're not good enough before you even have a conversation with the person, before they even properly feel you out. I can see if she got that mad and if she started like wagging her finger, maybe if he had really pulled something on her, if they'd gone on a date and he was being a total player and was pulling all kinds of stops trying to get in her pants or something, you know. I don't know. There are situations that I'm sure would call for that kind of but that certainly wasn't that situation. Anyway, don't be a victim, you guys. Don't be a victim. Just see how whatever is triggering you is actually what you're upset about yourself. That's when you start getting somewhere. That's when you start maturing and growing and seeing yourself. And you're like, oh, okay. I was the one being rude. And not in a way that you're beating yourself up, but it's like a relief. And then you don't have to do it anymore. Once you see that about yourself and you love that about yourself and you can have a good laugh, you can be like, oh my God, oh, that poor guy. You know what I mean? She could just totally make light of it and laugh and just be like, damn. But, you know, and if she does have that realization, that's awesome because the next interaction she has with some guy who says she's beautiful might go a very different direction. And they might have a really beautiful talk. And they might actually learn and grow from each other and have a nice, mature conversation, you know, where they can end up friends or at least, you know, just a nice, you know, a nice little passing by little, hey, spirit, how you doing? Hey, spirit, you know? Okay, so at this point, I think we're done here for today. Hope you learned something. If you have some questions you want to ask down below, or if you want to contribute any thoughts to this as well, feel free to comment below. If you would like to do a remote reading and talk to me further about this, even in your own life, and maybe sometimes how you feel like a victim in life and you would like to not be anymore and not be so defensive, then we can definitely discuss that on a one-on-one talk over the phone or over Zoom. So you guys have yourselves a beautiful day, and I'm going to go make some more chicken soup because it's snowing again, and I'm going to be hunkered down for days. I just want to be nice and cozy with my little chicken soup. So have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.